Hi folks, I'm the newstarcadefan here, and welcome back to Battleship Bishojo. In the last episode, we ran up with a very angry dragon who's about to try to kill us for killing her kind. The effect of intimidation was not lost on Katsu. She was glued to the spot, looking up at fear at the Koryu. For a moment, there was only silence. The Koryu stand staring down daggers at all of us. Then the blur movement and attack swooping a hand down to grasp at Katsu. Somehow snapping out of her daze, she dodged, sliding across the ice before picking herself back up. Watch yourselves! With that, the Koriyu left out a deafening cry, outstretching her wings and flying above us. I have no need to fight you, but if you will not leave me alone to do so. Oh no, you don't. I looked behind myself to see Olivia taking a knee with a gun in hand. The gun was armed with a sharp, hook-like object and a lot of tough-looking tether. Yeah, this is what Olivia was planning for all along. No way, your harpoon gun? Let's hope it works. A loud bang cracked through the empty air as she pulled the trigger, the silver rod flying through the sky to Koryu. The dragon couldn't think quick enough. The sharp harpoon pierced right through its wing. Ouch. The Koryu plummeted to the ice below in a deafening crash, a plume of ice and snow erupting from the landing site. We all stood there for a moment, unsure of what to do. When all the frost finally settled, the beast stared back at us, and it had blood red anger in its. Yeah, you know you fucked up. So that's how it's gonna be played. Uh oh. Uh oh. The Koryu took part of the line and held it suddenly pulled. Yeah. Olivia hadn't thought to drop the gun yet and was catapulted into the air. This is not a good situation to be in, especially with an angry dragon. Look how pissed off she is. Olivia! As soon as she went airborne, I made a mad dash over to her trajectory. I slipped a few times. As soon as I had my footing, I dove right over just before she crashed against the ice. She landed on top of me, both of us out our own form of oomph. Oh, you just saved my butt, Daiki. We're not gonna. We're not out of the woods just yet. I looked over, seeing the Koriyu as it once again flared its wing, harpoon gun dangling from the webbing. It exhaled sharply, puffs of smoke emitting from its nose, as it stared daggers at us. But before I could react, however, Katsu followed up. Yeah, you can tell Katsu really didn't want to have to do this. There was a great slicing noise, the Koriyu letting out a sudden screech. It looked down, seeing Katsu make this great slices in its hide. Unfortunately for her, its hide was quite tough. The cry it made was likely out of shock rather than pain. Oh, that can't be good. Not this time. Uh-oh, she ready to kill her. One of its mighty hands came down, plucking up Katsu from the ground. I rushed over to the Koryu's front, following my hands to get its attention. I looked on at Katsu with malice, looking as though it would bite her head off at any moment. Hey, down here. The Daiki. Run, get out of here. Not happening. Hey, Koryu or whatever you're called. Hey. I got its attention. Now what do I do? You're not tricking me anymore, human. You had your time. The hunting of my species by your kind will be repaid in full. She opened her mouth wide. Not the only thing at all. Will it though? I just wanted to. Koryu hesitated and looked back down at me. Really, think about it. What will killing us actually solve for you? You're gonna feel better about all this? Will it revive all your dead ancestors and friends or anything? Daiki, what is your point, human? Look, I get it, I really do. You hate the fact that your loved ones were taken from you and you want them back. I get that. But what is hurting people gonna do? What does it accomplish? Are you really trying to win me over, human? Is it working? Hardly. Regardless of those words, it set Katsu down. Katsu took the opportunity to take her sword back, but sheathed it instead. Look, we should have just told her what's going on. What expansion to the actual bounty? What could would have served? Think about it, Katsu. This thing is the last of its kind. We don't need to bring in the whole thing, do we? Why not just, I don't know, a claw or two for some? Wouldn't that be enough? If all you beats start to you, money in your pockets. Look, I have my reasons, okay? Yes, I'm sure you're more than capable of justifying murder and genocide for a stack of gold to line your pockets. It's not just that it's humans. All the same, money and power, no matter the cost, I assume. Wipe out an entire species just to fuel your industry? Must have been nice not having to think of any of the consequences. Katsu stood there, hands clenched, body shaking, face scrunched, staring up at the creature with animosity. Yeah, as if there can be any other reason drawing your attentions. Yeah, she just wants her family back. The outburst was so sudden. I never heard something like that from Katsu. Her voice cracked several times on everything. We were all silent and just looked at her for a moment. When she realized what she had said, she looked at us and a red hue plastered across her face. I mean, she sighed heavily, pinching her forehead back from all of us. Look, I was raised in a foster home. Sophie can tell you that, but I was only admitted there when I was 7, after my parents were taken from me by some scum pirates. I thought if I got on the open seas and got enough cash somehow, some way, I'd see them again. I stood there in silence for a moment before shuffling my way over to her. She was still shaking. I had a feeling it wasn't because of the cold. It's stupid. Gosh, it's so stupid to think that, but I get it, Katsu. I do. I looked back over to the Koryu. Its expression was mostly unchanged, but the anger had drained. Its face now glum and dry. It said nothing more, flicking one of its feet, a claw rolling across the ice to us. Katsu looked up, a tear rolling down her face, baffled. But why? Take this back to your people, and say it was the only thing you saw remaining. Say there was nothing left of the once proud Koriyu, and leave me in peace. It started to flap its wing, but winced, the harpoon still deeply embedded in its flesh. Here, let me get that for you. No, stay away. Just real quick, I can make it so there's no permanent damage. I want you to be able to fly out of here. Humph. We also stood around for months. Olivia and Miyoko eased the harpoon out of the Koryu's wing. I looked over at Katsu and held the talon up. It sat in the entirety in the palm of her hand. It was about the length of her middle finger, down to the base of her wrist. That's some claw. No kidding. Think it'll actually be enough? I don't actually have much of a choice at this point, eh? I'm sure it'll be worth something to the curators out there, all things considered. Eh, and no one had to die. Yes, I suppose that's the most positive thing that come out of this whole experience, huh? I'd say so. We both looked over, Miyoko and Olivia both stepping over, Olivia's harpoon gun in hand. You're happy that thing works, aren't you? You have no idea. Of course, I do feel a bit bad that was on what it was used on. You did what you had to do. If anything, it brought us some time. I suppose this was all a mess, but we aren't leaving empty-handed at least. Katsu? I looked over to Sophie, timidly approaching the captain with a worried expression on her face. I... Sophie. I had no idea. I should have thought... It's okay, Sophie. I never really wanted you to know, really. I always had my assumptions, but never realized it went that far. Please, let's just go somewhere warmer, okay? Sophie nodded with a wry smile and heading her way back to the ship with the rest of us. I looked back to see if the Koryu still stood behind us, and I wasn't surprised when it just was a vast emptiness of ice and fog. I woke the next morning, still a bit tired from everything that just went on yesterday, and here's where I'm gonna leave it. If you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share because it helps the channel out a lot. Anyway, I'm the newstarcadefan saying thanks for watching, have a good day or night wherever you are, and bye for now.